I am Miley Carter. And this is my truth.
Excuse me, I love you. Who starts a conversation like that? Nobody but I do. But you are not a picture. I can cut you up or hide you.
What's going on? What's going on? It's your favorite trans girl here on YouTube, Miley Carter. So today's video is going to be a video that I have been wanting to do for a very long time now. And honestly, this video is going to help me. Something's just going on with this fucking lash. We just gonna pay that. It is what it is. Fuck it. So I feel like, I've been wanting to do this video for a very long time, and even the thought of me even talking about these things just really just makes me like kind of emotional. But I think I really need to like face it, and I thought I faced these things, and I thought I overcame these things as I wrote about them in my book. Well, my new book. If you guys don't know, I came out with 2 new books, The Diary of Aurora, and also I Am. I Am basically details a lot of the things that I'm going to talk about in this video, but it goes into great detail about those things. And these things that I want to discuss in this video, I swear to God, like I just thought I would never ever talk about them, because like nobody truly knows about these things. And it's so crazy that I'm willing to, talk about these things to over 23,000 people, before people that are close to me. There are only like a very select few people who know about these things. Yesterday, or the day before that, I had a serious breakdown. I was on the phone with Slater, and like a lot of people don't understand, like I truly respect Slater so much, because you guys see the persona of people when it comes to YouTube, and you meet people, and you meet people like online, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, and people create these whole fake personas about who they are and what they represent, etc., etc. But like Slater is really like a true friend to me, and I'm forever grateful for him. And like I really wish I could express more about our friendship, but that's literally like my best friend, and I would literally do anything for him. Like he's been there through my ups and my downs. Slater is really one of the only people who has truly been there throughout my whole experience. Surrounding what I'm about to talk about. Last year in the summertime, approaching around this time, I was, planning to leave. My birthday was coming up. My birthday's in a few weeks from now. And I had planned to do my final days at my job. I had left my job. That was a great paying job. I had my own place here in Virginia and everything. I had a place here, etc., etc. I had a good paying job. I was just literally like, I just honestly had, a good life. Like I really truly had a good life. And, I was planning to move to Atlanta. I had everything, where I was gonna live, situated, etc., etc. I had already, months prior to even me moving to Atlanta, I had my job secured and everything. Like, no tea, no shade, bitch. I had everything secured. 30th, I had left to go to Atlanta. I was so excited and everything. Thing ended up happening to where I ended up not even being able to stay there. I had hit up Amari. Amari is a YouTuber. We have been friends for a year plus, maybe 2 years, I guess you could say. At that time, Amari had always talked about, me moving to Atlanta. I was texting her, I was on my way, she was like, well, bitch, what are you gonna say? And I was just telling her, like, we had a whole conversation about that, and she had told me, you know, well, you could stay here, and I was like, you know, like, I really just don't want to, you know, be a burden on you and your child, you know, like, I know you have a family, et cetera, et cetera. She was like, no, you know, you're good, you're okay, you know, like, you can stay here as long as you need to, yada, yada, yada. But me personally, I was only giving myself a month anyway, because, you know, at the end of the day, she has a family, and when someone enters someone's home and they have their own family, like, that just, it's just complications, and I don't really like being a burden on anybody. But, you know, as I was going to Atlanta, that's what happened. As I was traveling to Atlanta, where I was going to stay, that had completely failed. Went to Amari's house, and the next day I was, you know, supposed to start my job, and guess what? I received the email, and the email basically stated that the job location in Virginia had basically told them some information, which is crazy because I was like the star fucking employee, bitch. I was the whole supervisor and some more. So I was just so confused on how they even, you know, said that. Of course, I instantly went into like a panic mode. You know, me and Amari had a long conversation the next day. You know, she asked me, you know, what was my plan, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm just like, you know, just give me a month and that's it. Like, bitch, that's all I need. Just give me a month and that's it. You know, that's really all I need. You know, we had that discussion the next day, but it wasn't like really in detail. You know, it was more so like, you know, bitch, you can stay here as long as you need to. Like, I know how it is, you know, especially when you're following your dreams, et cetera, et cetera. And like, I really thought it was coming. I felt like it was coming from a place of, you know, sincereness. And I do feel like it was coming from a place of, you know, her caring. But, you know, as the days went on, you know, like a week later, she was so skeptical about, you know, having this conversation with me again. But this time we was in full detail with the conversation. And I really had no problem with, you know, telling her, like, bitch, I only need a month. Like, listen, like, I don't want to be, you know, a burden on you. And she just kept saying, like, bitch, you're not going to be a burden. Like, stop saying that. And, bitch, I was just so emotional because I was just like, bitch, I had everything intact. Like, I would never leave home, you know, and do all what I did to just strictly go be homeless. Like, that's just something, like, I just never thought I would have to, you know, endure. Boom, you know, I end up landing a job at a aquatics center. Basically, I was, you know, being a lifeguard at like different apartment complexes. So, you know, I had landed that job, but the job was like sporadic. So, you know, basically you just pick up shifts whenever you want to. But due to the fact that it was August, bitch, and it was, August 5th-ish, almost 10th-ish at this point. So, of course, the pools were about to start closing. And on top of that, they had found out that I did not have application for lifeguarding, was only for shallow at the time. I did have like a deep water, you know, certification, but bitch, long story short, it ended up being switched to a shallow. Yeah, so I ended up having to find new locations to work at, et cetera, within that job. So I ended up instantly applying for new jobs. Like, bitch, all that was not going on. I instantly applied for new jobs. So, you know, the second week came. I was literally at Amari's house for like 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, probably 3, definitely 3 at the most, or 2.5 at the most. So by the second week, I was going to different interviews. Like, bitch, I was just not playing. But at the same time, that first week, I was really kind of like trying to be at ease. Like, Amari wanted me to like explore the city. She wanted me to do this. She wanted me to do that. You know, she kept telling me, like, bitch, you just need to go out. Like, you need to, you know, relax yourself right now. Like, you're going through a lot right now. Just relax yourself. And I just really couldn't because, like, bitch, it was just so much mentally going on in my fucking head. Like, I was trying to figure out my next move, especially when I just came from having everything all together. So by that second week and a half, going, you know, trying to lean towards that third week, I went out that Friday with one of my friends, Alonzo, and I ended up staying over there because, you know, I got drunk, etc. And I didn't want to get drunk. I mean, I didn't want to, you know, drive drunk or whatever because I did not know like how Atlanta operates. So Alonzo is from Virginia. He's one of my good friends from Virginia. So I guess when I had a conversation with Amari, I told her I did not have any friends there, because at that time, me and Alonzo was not, as close as we are now. Like, we was just, cool. Like, we knew who each other were, and that was just really what that was. Like, we wasn't close enough friends for me to be like, oh yeah, bitch, like, let me stay at your house. This is what I'm going through. It wasn't that type of deal. Like, Amari was literally genuinely my only friend. So, so that was that, and I guess she thought, like, I was like, bitch, you done spent the night at somebody's house, so clearly y'all good enough friends. But I think she was thinking that in the back of her head or whatever. I don't fucking know. I had took a shower, got my makeup, I had did my makeup, yada yada yada. So as I was like, about to leave, like, she heard me, getting dressed or whatever, about to leave. This was on August 11th, so I already had in my head, I already was like, okay, bitch, like, clearly, like, in my back of my head, I'm like, okay, girl, this is a T, because how do you go from, you can stay here as long as you want, to giving very much of, like, you just want to make sure you stand with your deadline. So I was like, yes, I will, and I said, that's still the goal. She was like, okay, sounds good, let me know if I can help in any way. So I guess when a person is just sitting and, like, every day, like, I was just, just sitting and doing some YouTube stuff every day. Like, I always have my computer. Let me tell you something. If I got my computer or if I have my phone in my hand and I'm just sitting and chilling, trust me, day by day, I'm doing something. I'm working on something. I just don't say it. I just do it, Long story short, every other day, like, Amari would ask me, to watch her child. And I really, for a few hours or whatever, while she, go out to dinner, dinner dates, whatever she wanted to do, like, I really never mind, because I was like, okay, this bitch is always cooped up in this house. She never really does anything. She has no social life. She has no friends, so she says. So I was like, I'm just gonna let the bitch, go out, do whatever she wants to. It's not that big of a deal. Like, I'm good with children, so it is what it is. By the way, I hate being that type of person that reads messages, like, in videos and stuff like that, because I feel like it's so tacky. But to explain my story in full, like, I feel like I'm really gonna have to, fully tell y'all the tea about this whole fucking situation, so y'all can fully know throughout everything that's been going on in my life, well, for the last year and a half. This is just what it is. She texted me on August 16th, and she was like, well, you switched sides on the couch tonight. It started to sink on the side that you sleep on with a sad face. My thing is, you don't have to be put a sad face, girl. Just say it. Like, I'm very understanding. Like, I don't think people really understand that. And I think people sometimes think that, like, when I'm like, the way I talk sometimes, I think people be thinking, like, I'm aggressive, or, like, think that I'm going to, like, I'm not understanding. And I'm a very understanding person. August 17th, this was a Friday. This was the third week, second and a half week, third week I had been there. I was about to go out. It was 9:55. And she texted me and she was like, oh my fucking God. I said, what? She said, hold on, OMG. I'm about to come out there. She's listening to my call. Look at this email. So this was at 9:57. She texted me 10 minutes later because I did not respond yet. At this time, I was in the bathroom still doing my makeup. She texted me 10 minutes later and she was like, these fucking CXs. And I don't know what the fuck that is. And I was like, huh? She's like, I'm trying to hang up on them. The front office emailed me. My stomach is in knots. I didn't even know you were going out. I just read the email. Damn, I'm sorry. Okay, so she had texted me, this was at 10:09. She was like, I'm trying to hang up on them. The front office emailed me. So I didn't even text her back then. I was just, out there, whatever. I was out in the living room area. So when she came out, she was like, oh my God, like, like, they emailed me. And, like, how do you go from, I'm going to send you the email, to, now you're trying to tell me. And, like, I was trying to, like, look at her phone and see the email. And it was just kind of like, I feel like the whole time she was, like, in the room, the way the situation was happening, it was like she was, like, coming up and, like, conjuring up a plan, to, like, get me out of there. Like, to think about some drastic plan that she could, come up with to basically make me leave. So, basically she told me that the front office emailed her and told her that they found out that someone was staying there that wasn't supposed to, and that she had, that they were going to do checks on Monday, and if they found out that that was true, that she was going to get put out. So me personally, I was like, okay, bitch, hold the fuck on. Like, she has a child. At the end of the day, I'm an adult, so bitch, I would stay in my fucking car if I have to. Like, I was just being like very courteous of her child. You know, it was like fuck her. It was more so of her child. Like, that was really all in my head. Not fuck her, but y'all get what I mean. I was so fucked up, like mentally. Like, I was in a good ass mood. I was about to go out. I was just fucking distraught. And like, she was like trying to cry at the same time. Like, I'm just so hurt and I'm so sorry that you're having to go through this and da 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 da. And then she said like, well, let me know if you're gonna come back tonight. First of all, and that's the thing, how do you know I'm comfortable enough to stay at someone's house or cool enough with them to be spending the night at their house? You know, like, I just don't understand that. And I think she ended up taking her key back that night too. Man was like, you know, just let me know and I'll open the door for you, etc., etc. But I ended up staying, you know, at Alonso's house because, bitch, I was kind of over her at that point. I had called later in the car. And bitch, I was just so distraught. Like, bitch, I was just over it. So I had called Slater and I was like, bitch, what the fuck do you think? Like, I was like, a part of me feels like this is bullshit and a part of me feels bad. You know, Slater was like, nah, bitch, I feel like it's a T. Being the caring person I am, bitch, I was just like, okay, maybe it's not giving that and maybe she really is just telling the truth. So she had texted me at 10:27 and she was like, my stomach is in knots. I didn't even know you were going out. I just read the email. Damn, I'm sorry. So I was like, it's okay. I'm trying not to think about it right now until after. So she, Saturday, August 18th through 7. Of course, bitch, it's Atlanta, so bitch, we're still out. So she was like, I put the door stopper under the door for safety. I have my phone on loud if you come back tonight. So, I didn't end up coming back till you know, Saturday afternoon. And I texted her saying, you know, it's me at the door, etc., etc. So we really didn't even go into detail about the whole conversation. She was just like, you know, where are you gonna stay? So that same night I ended up putting a video up basically saying that I was homeless and, you know, bitch, like, this is what the fuck is happening. I don't know, like, I don't even know why I put the video up. Like, I honestly don't even know why I put the video up. I didn't even know what response I was expecting from the video. I didn't even expect to get all of those responses. I was honestly kind of skeptical about even putting up the video because I know bitches from my hometown watch my videos. They just don't say anything, but them bitches watch my videos. So I just didn't really care to be in anybody's group messages. Like, I cared too much about what other people thought and what people was going to think. Especially because everybody from my hometown, you know, has this typical thought of like, oh, bitches move to Atlanta and they don't have anywhere to go. When the whole time is, most of y'all bitches live at y'all mama's houses and still don't got no fucking jobs and y'all still broke as a bitch. So, you know, that's just really, that was just that on that. Yeah. So she had texted me on Sunday and she was like, I was just telling Brandon was her boyfriend at the time. I don't know if they're still together because I don't talk to her. She was like, I was just telling Brandon he should go ahead and go home when we get back because I don't know what time they're coming tomorrow. Is it possible for you to find somewhere to stay tonight before you get into your hotel tomorrow? Because I don't want to risk it. So basically, at that time, when she's speaking about a hotel, I had told her, you know, I had uploaded a video. And at that time, you know, my subscribers were like starting to send me money, you know, so that I could, you know, have an Airbnb. Because at that time, bitch, I was like 3 weeks into, you know, living in Atlanta, bitch. All my funds had ran out because I was spending it all on food. Like, literally, I was eating out every day, you know, just to survive. At this point, bitch, like, I didn't know what to do. My subscribers were starting to send me money. So I knew in my head, you know, bitch, like, I know I could get an Airbnb for the night for about $25, $30. You know, I just would have my own little room in the Airbnb, and that would just be that. If anything, and if I really didn't have money, I was just gonna sleep in my car, and that was just really that on that. So I was like, I still have to figure out how I'm gonna get the money to cover the other half for the hotel. I was like, I'll just stay in my car. Because at this point in time, like, my thing is, you thinking because I had spent the night at my friend's house on that Friday night, that I will be able to do that again. And it's just like, that I only had stayed there because of the strength of, you know, me being drunk and I didn't want to drive home. So I had texted her again and I was like, I'm going to wash my clothes before I leave if that's fine. I meant to ask you earlier, I meant to ask you to grab the detergent out the car. She was like, she put the sad face and was like, I'm sorry, but that's fine. I put a load in the washer if you want to just move it to the dryer. I said, it's okay. I'm just, praying some things come through. So she texted me Sunday at 11 p.m. and she was like, hey, Brandon's getting ready to head out and I'm about to head to bed. Are you on your way back? Yep, I ended up staying at an Airbnb that night. Luckily, something had came through and they ended up letting me book the Airbnb late as fuck that night. Text her like an hour later and I was like, yes, I'll be there in 30. And so I ended up getting there. I ended up, getting all my things, etc., packing my car in the most self-sufficient way as possible. So at this point, Monday morning, I was like, hey, can you do me a favor? And she was like, what's up? I was like, can you write me a document stating that I was sleeping on your couch? I just need it so I can get food stamps. I was like, and then just email me the document. So she had sent me the document a day later. She had sent me a picture of it a day later. And she was like, I'm just now seeing this from this morning. Mind you, the bitch is lying because the bitch is always on her phone. She was like, let me know if this is okay or if I need to change any wording. I know how they be at the food stamp office. So I was like, thanks, I'm sure this is okay. So she had texted me, she was like, okay, are you okay? Did you make it to your hotel? I was like, yeah, I'm okay. And yeah, I did. It's just really kind of scary being here. So I ended up being at an Airbnb and then I ended up going to a hotel that Monday because Sunday at that hotel, they didn't have like, there were no workers there. So you had to, get the room on a Monday. So I ended up getting the room that Monday or whatever. And that's how that conversation kind of went. So I was just telling her, gradually, bitch, I have a few packages coming, etc., etc. So she would take like a day in between to message me back, hella hours, in between to message me back. Not to say that she has to message me back, drastically or fast, but it started to be on some shady ass shit. So it was just kind of funny to me how she was saying, Brandon's not going to be here anymore either. She also had told me before my situation had even happened that the rent office people had, I think when she was telling me that I had to leave because of that situation, she also told me that the rent office people had approached her before, or approached Brandon before about staying there. Long story short, I was trying to get my packages. I had like a few packages from, some hair companies that I knew that they were going to pay me. I had some packages from FameBit and I knew they were going to pay me as well. So I had income coming in, but I had to just get my packages first. And, they were going to her house. I also was waiting on my credit card and I also was waiting on my food stamps. So, all these things were happening. So she was just taking like, her sweet precious time, throughout all that shit, yada, yada, yada. So by the end of September, I had got my final thing had came for the food stamps or whatever. So September 11th, bitch, this is nearly like almost a month later from that point. And she basically, as I was picking up my packages, this bitch kept telling me like, oh, I'm going to leave your packages outside. The first time Brandon had came outside to bring me my package. I still was respectful, thank you, acting like as if, I'm not catching any tea or whatever. The second time after that, she just kept telling me, your package is outside, the mail is outside on the patio. I'm just going to place it on the patio, etc., etc., etc. It's like, girl, like, I know that's a tea. Like, you just can't face me like you can't face me like a real ass bitch and, just be real. Like, if we friends, like, you wouldn't even want to see me after everything that's just taking place with me. Like, that's some flaw ass shit. So, that had happened. This bitch goes live a week fucking later. And I think I still have the video. I'm going to place the video right here.
Designated for makeup. It's in my living room. But this is my other thing. I don't think none of you guys are weirdos. But I will say this. I will say this. Every single person that I've met from YouTube is a fucking weirdo. A weirdo. Like, not even in like a, like, I know I said fucking like it was like a really negative thing. You think so? You think so? Hold on, y'all. Wait, let me go turn off the water from Miley.
Amara was live, but she didn't know I was on her live. She didn't know I was watching her live. Something had told me click on her live because at this point I was still following her on YouTube, etc., etc., etc. I noticed that the bitch had unfollowed me like off of Twitter. She also had unfollowed me off of Instagram. So she was talking like shit on like, she was talking shit on YouTube, basically saying like how every YouTuber she has ever met was weird as fuck, like weird ass bitches, yada, yada, yada. And I was just so confused, like, how the fuck, like, what, bitch? Like, I'm confused. And it's so crazy because she did tell me she has met other YouTubers before that she had became friends with and that they had a falling out. And the thing about it is, I think it's just her. Like, she's always so cooped up in her house. I think she was really popular growing up, so she never really had, you know, a lot of friends, shall I say. So she's not very sociable. Just becomes socially awkward or whatever, and she just puts that blame on other people. So yeah, I think that's really what that was. And it was just kind of crazy to me how this bitch was just like trying to call me weird. And like, I had texted her phone, like you can see in the video, I had texted her phone purposely. And she had like made her face like it was like, she was like reading the message and she was just like, and like rolled her eyes and like went, like walked off or whatever. And I was like, okay, girl, like you just, girl, you real funny and you real flawed as a bitch. Like, girl, I never did anything to you. Like, girl, if anything, I was, you know, there for you. Like, bitch, you didn't film a video on YouTube in 6 months, bitch. And when I had got there, bitch, I was helping you, you know, telling you about fame bitch shit and, you know, trying to get you back onto that, making some extra side coin because you was complaining. Everybody goes through things when it, you know, they're adults, especially when you have kids. You know, you was behind on certain shit. So I was just telling you, like, bitch, you can get extra corn from here. Da 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 da. We was even talking about sugar daddies, etc., etc., etc. So I'm just so confused on how you just have all this energy and then all of a sudden, bitch, you just become a flaw ass bitch. So my thing is like, how the fuck are you telling me I had to leave, but you got your boyfriend still there? Like, every time I came there to pick up a package, bitch, he was there. Bitch, I saw his car there every single motherfucking time. So that's how I know you was a flaw-ass bitch and you was lying the whole fucking time. Like, talk about some, oh, he's not gonna be there as much, yada, yada, yada. He's not spending the night no more. No, bitch, all that is lies, girl. Like, all that is lies. Like, all you gotta do is be a real fucking friend and just say, you know, I don't want you here anymore. Like, bitch, and I would have just completely understood that, you know, way even more, bitch. We would still be friends to this day. Bitch, I would respect you way more had you did that instead of doing that flaw-ass motherfucking shit. At this point, bitch, I was homeless. I was staying in and out of hotels. You know, you guys were, my subscribers were sending me money. Thankfully, by the grace of God, I started to escort. You know, like, I was getting to a point where I was low on funds, and I was just like, bitch, I have to do something. You know, like, I'm still waiting on these jobs to hit me back up. You know, at this point, bitch, it was like September-ish. And I was like, okay, bitch, like, I take that back. It was like still leaning to the worst of like August. I think it was like at the end of August at this point. Down and back a little bit. So I was running out of funds. So I was like, okay, bitch, I can't keep asking my subscribers for money. So, bitch, something has to give. So I was on the phone, you know, one of my trans aunts. And, you know, I had a very deep conversation with her. And I was like, you know, auntie, something has to give. And, you know, like, I just don't know what I'm going to do anymore. And, like, I just want to give up. Because, like, you know, I feel like, I don't know. Like, I've never been through this before. Like, I'm sitting here putting on this whole facade on social media, pretending that everything is okay. And that it's really not. And I'm in a neighborhood that I do not know. I don't know these people from Adam and Eve. You know, I've heard that this neighborhood is super bad and there's just always fucking cops everywhere and killings, and like the fucking people that was living at this place at this extended stay, they were there for like months and months and months, and like that was their lifestyle. So it became to a point where I had to do what I had to do, and I, you know, took all the knowledge I've learned from, you know, my past friends and my past, you know, trans family, gay family members, and I started to escort. You know, I had to do what I had to do. I was, you know, plucking dates off. I was plucking clients off of dating apps. And, you know, like, it was, the money started to be so fast for me. You know, like, I was really getting the money. Like, I plucked my first client and I was so scared, which all I did was gave him head. Like, all of my clients, I really only gave them head except one, but we're gonna get to that. Getting these clients, and most of the time, I was like really, you would have thought I was like in the game for years and years and years. Like, I really had, I think it became more so a thing of me having to truly step into a zone and an era that I never thought I would have to. Like, I always said, bitch, I would never do that. I would never escort. I always, you know, I built my brand off of being, you know, the girl who was not going to become a statistic, and it hurt me so bad. And it put me in a place morally, because I was just like, bitch, like, this shit really is fucking me up. Like, here I am, now I'm a statistic. You know, I have become the girl that's trans that is escorting. And I remember crying a lot, probably after every client that I had. And I only had like 5 clients, to be honest, cause bitch, like, I was really getting money. Like, I was plucking, like, per client, bitch, like, I only was doing it just so I can have the hotel for, you know, another week or so. Fucking, my first client was $50, and I was only with them for like 5 minutes. The second client was about 85. The one after that was 100. Like, I just started going up and up and up. So by the 5th client, I end up meeting a sugar daddy, and I want to call him a sugar daddy because he could have potentially been my sugar daddy, but he was only like a one-time client. And honestly, I was gagging because he was used. Honestly, I fucked that bag up because, no shade, I could have really like took that man money for blood. Like, I could have had like thousands and thousands of dollars from this man. And when I tell y'all about this situation, y'all gonna be like, Miley, like, bitch, you are so, I'm weak, my eyes are good and so watery. This man was a millionaire. So I had found him off a dating app. I'm not gonna tell you guys what dating app. You know, I was typically, you know, plucking clients or whatever. And, you know, this man just was like, you know, I wanna see you, yada, yada, yada. Talking a good game. You know, he was like, I don't wanna just see, he was like, you are so beautiful and I don't wanna just see you for, you know, 30 minutes. So he had asked me how much my rate was for the hour. So I told him it was $200 per hour. Well, $200 for a flat hour, and then after that, we'll have to go into detail, you know, further, you know, details or whatever. Well, he was just telling me, you know, like, he wanted at least 2 hours. So, bitch, I was like, bitch, you know, bitch, this is about to be $400, bitch, and this is going to clear me for about a good 2 weeks because the hotel I was staying at was like $260 per week. So, honestly, bitch, I only had to pluck about, you know, 3 or 4 clients. If that's the case, you know, some clients I was going to them, and some clients I was allowing them to come to me. If I was going to them, it was, you know, me making more money, etc., etc., etc. So, you know, I had went to his house or whatever. He lived in a bomb-ass loft. I think I still have the video of me being in his loft. I had took a boomerang of me being in his house or whatever. So, he had, like, a bomb-ass car. Like, he had multiple cars. His, like, loft was, like, gated. And I was, like, in his loft or whatever, bitch. It was, like, an upstairs and downstairs, bitch. Like, his bed, like, was upstairs. And, like, you could oversee, like, his living room area. And you could also, like, oversee, his, like, kitchen and all of that, bitch. It was just so fab. He had all these wines. He had, like, pictures of, like, each place of, like, where he was, or, like, where he's ever traveled. And it was just, like, the place was just fab. So, you know, we watched movies. He cooked me dinner. He had me drinks, etc., etc. You know, and then we ended up having sex, you know, after that, bitch. And the sex was just bomb. Like, no shade. The sex was fab. We had sex or whatever. We ended up chilling again, watching a movie. Bitch, because he just genuinely enjoyed my time. He was talking to me, you know, telling me he has been to places, you know, like Dominican Republic, and that he could take me there, you know, to get my bags done, to get my body done. And he was like, you know, I really don't even think you need all of that because you're very beautiful, yada, yada, yada. I think your natural beauty is going to, you know, enhance over time. Like, he was just really into me. So, I was kind of getting over him at the moment because it was kind of being like, okay, bitch, I've been here for 3 hours. You know, I need my money. You know, at this point, bitch, I'm still seeing you as a client, and bitch, you giving it up like, you know, you want to get married to me. You know, this man had a whole girlfriend. The girlfriend lived in Chicago. He had a daughter. So we talked about me seeing him, you know, multiple times. Seeing each other multiple times. He had told me, you know, like every other week he sees his daughter. So the weekends he has his daughter, you know, I would not be able to text him. I would not be able to, you know, see him, call him, no, nothing like that. So, in the process, you know, he was like, I know you gotta go, you know, yada, yada, yada. He had asked me, did I see any more clients that day, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Because it was like 3 o'clock in the morning at this point. So he was like, have you seen any of your other clients? And I was like, no. You know, I cleared my schedule just for you. This man had sent me money to get my nails done. He sent me money to get my toes done, my eyebrows done. So by the time I seen him, bitch, I was stunning. You know, I was sickening, bitch. I had just got a new unit installed. Bitch, I was giving him that TS 101, bitch. It was giving all the things of the things. So by the time I seen him, you know, I had to really act as if I was seeing $1 million niggas all the time. You know, he was asking me where I was staying, you know, where I lived. Bitch, I was like, bitch, I was making up these whole fabricated stories. You know, I live this place, that place, you know, I have this, you know, yada, yada, yada. Bitch, I was just giving him the run for his motherfucking money and all the things of the things. So, I'm kind of gagging because I thought I would be crying telling this story, but bitch, I have to release this out because, like, once this video goes up, and honestly, this is probably going to be, like, maybe, like, a 2-part or 3-part story because, bitch, I'm already at 45 minutes, and, yeah. I want y'all to be sitting right here watching a full hour of shit. I know, you know, bitch, it's just a lot. It's a lot to take in, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, I met this man, or whatever, like I told y'all. And basically, about a 3-hour mark, bitch, he was like, okay, you know, I know it's time to go. I know you gotta go soon, yada, yada, yada. The movie had ended up ending, bitch. We watched Acrimony. It was my first time watching Acrimony, and bitch, ever since then, I loved it. So he basically, you know, he paid me. He was like, how much do I owe you? He was like, I know you said $200 per hour. In the meantime, bitch, before he even had paid me, he had shown me his bank account. Why did this man have, I take that back. He had $800,000 into his savings account. And he had $15,000 in his checkings account. What I should have did was said, I need $3,000 from you. But I didn't want to drag it out, and I didn't want, you know, him to think that, you know, due to the simple fact that he had showed me his account that I was trying to, you know, run up his motherfucking shit or whatever. I was like, you know, you can only pay me $500. You know, $500 is cool. He was like, well, you know, I got $300 right here in cash. I can give you the cash right now, and I can just cash out you the rest. He was like, you know, I'm good for it. I just showed you my accounts, yada, yada, yada. So I put my faith in him, bitch. At the end of the day, I had got the $300. So the $300 was already motherfucking secured, bitch. So all he had to do was pay me the rest of my motherfucking money. And that's all I really cared about was the $300. Because once he just paid me the rest was just going to be extra. So I'm going to tell y'all how I fucked up my bag and what I should have never did. So I got big-headed and I went to upgrade to a different hotel. The hotel I had stayed in was like $400 some dollars. Actually, I think it was like it ended up being like $420 total for just one motherfucking week. It was Pride Week, and honestly, bitch, the hotel was down the street from the hotel I was just staying at. What I should have really did was put the down payment for 2 weeks at the hotel that I was staying at. That's what the fuck I should have did instead of being a big-headed ass bitch and taking that whole $500, putting it into one fucking hotel for one motherfucking week. That's what the fuck I fucked up at. And then on top of that, I had texted him like a few days later, and I was like, you know, could you pay my phone bill? And he was like, you know, yeah, I could pay it, whatever. He ended up being with his daughter that week, so I really couldn't text him, you know, as much as I needed to. And he was like, I have a $5,000 spending limit, so I'm gonna have to wait till tomorrow. And I'm just like, bitch, how the fuck you spend $5,000 in one motherfucking day? Bitch, you spending $5,000 like that, you can just drop a whole bag on me, and that's just that. Like, bitch, that's what the fuck he really should have did. Like, bitch, if he would have just dropped like $5,000 on me in that one day, bitch, I promise you, bitch, it would have just been murder she wrote from that point. But yeah, like, he had sent me the money, you know, for my phone bill. And that's just that on that. And that really had fucked me up because, like, once he had sent me the money, I think he kind of thought, like, okay, wait a minute. Like, this bitch already told me she be having different clients and shit like that. So how the fuck all of a sudden this bitch is just, you know, asking me, you know, to pay her phone bill and shit like that. And honestly, I just really wanted him to be, you know, like my sugar daddy. Like, that's really what I wanted. I wanted him to be, I didn't even want to see him as a client. I just wanted to see him as a sugar daddy. And that's just that, you know, like, and I just fucked the bag up because, like, you know, he didn't even hit me up for a couple weeks. I ended up talking to him. I ended up texting him. And, like, I never text the clients. I always allow them to text me. So I ended up texting him, bitch. And he was just giving me, like, real, like, shady vibes, like Shaquitas or whatever. I just knew I fucked up the bag, bitch. Like, and that's just that. And then, let me just tell y'all what happened after that. Matter of fact, no. We just gonna wait till part 2 to finish this story, because, bitch, I ain't gonna rush everything at one time. Bitch, I've already been sitting right here for 50 motherfucking minutes, etc., etc., etc. So, yeah, I hope you guys stay tuned for part 2 of my story of really what the fuck happened. And I know y'all probably like, well, bitch, that's why the fuck you really have not truly expressed to us. You know, like, I was telling y'all shit throughout videos, but I wasn't really fully, you know, telling y'all what the fuck was going on with me. So that's really just that on that. I love you guys so very much, and as always, don't forget to follow me on all social media at Miley Carter. Yeah, and if you guys want to support my channel, my cash out will be down below. Yeah, that's just that on that.